people start to realize that our differences aren't as big as they seem.
I couldn't really understand the magnitude of what was going on.
I know a lot of people were affected.
You know, it's still that divide.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network and Wish TV, this is Our City, Our Voice.
You look a lot different at it.
Everybody was kind of spinning about what it was and what was happening.
Everything's changed.
Everything's changed.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/Wondery. That's greenlight.com/Wondery.
Celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage. Sponsored by the Marion County Public Health Department.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage. You know, throughout the month of May, we present powerful stories that reflect the positive impact that Americans with Asian and Pacific Islander heritage have on our community. Tonight, we have the privilege of speaking with 4 individuals whose actions are making significant contributions to our state, our country, and our communities. We'll begin by sitting down with Rupal Thanawala, president of the Asian American Alliance, to delve into the history of the alliance and explore what it means to be an Asian American in Indiana. Next, we'll have a conversation with Sergeant Kelsey Anderson, a native Hawaiian who has brought her roots with her to Indiana. She'll share insights into her heritage and her experiences in the military. Then we'll discover a new passion project born right here in Indiana, fueled by the creator's love for Chinese culture and language. And finally, we'll have the opportunity to speak with the co-founder of Stop AAPI Hate, discussing the Asian American experience here in Indiana. Stay tuned for all this and more when Celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage returns.
Celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage. Sponsored by the Marion County Public Health Department.
Welcome back. Our first story features an exclusive interview with Rupal Thanawala, president of the Asian American Alliance. Thanawala sheds light on the triumphs and challenges faced by Asian Americans in Indiana, while also revealing the origins of the alliance.
Asian American started 25 years back in 1999. It was founded by 3 gentlemen. One of them is Terry Yan and Albert Chen. And the idea behind starting Alliance was Asian American population was increasing in Indiana. And there were multiple organizations who represented Asian American culture, but there was not a one organization that could support each and every one. And our mission is to empower Asian Americans to lead and serve in business and community. Over a few years, Asian American population has grown to almost 175,000 Asian Americans in Indiana. Asian Americans have come to Indiana as early as 18th century. And we still have been often tagged as foreigners, outsiders, immigrants. And yes, we are very proud of our heritage. We cherish our heritage every day, but we are proud Americans. Asian Americans have come to Indiana for more than a century. Everyone had a different path. Some of them came here to work in the farmland. Many have come here as a student or with a job or to reunite with their family. However, the journey is not easy, but they have come here with a dream to be an American, and not only just to be an American, but to embrace the values of what an American means. However, our skin color may look different, we speak different language, but we are Americans. I came to this state almost 26 years back, but if I look forward in another 26 years, I would like to see Asian Americans to be contributing in this community in a much more leadership role, and at the same time being accepted and impacting the change in the state. The state has a great potentials. We have such ambitious plans for the state, but I also want to make sure that Asian Americans are an integral part of the future of Indiana.
Next, we highlight the remarkable journey of Sergeant Kelsey Anderson, a native Hawaiian now serving in the Indiana Army National Guard. Anderson's story showcases the resilience and diversity within Indiana's Asian American community. Stay with us. Celebrating Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage. We'll be right back.
Celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage, sponsored by the Marion County Public Health Department.
And now we shift our focus to Sergeant Kelsey Anderson. From her roots in Hawaii to serving in the Indiana Army National Guard, Anderson shares how she has preserved her heritage. Her story reflects the intersection of culture, service, and identity.
I'm a sergeant in the Indiana Army National Guard. I'm originally from Hawaii. I've been in Indiana since roughly 2015. I'm a mom. I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I've kind of just been getting to know my role in the National Guard, getting to know life in Indiana. Having originally come from Hawaii, it's been an interesting experience for me thus far, and I'm just here. I'm a firm believer in being a lifelong learner, so that's kind of like how I approach things, and I'm just excited. So my mom, she's originally from the Philippines. My mom's Chinese Filipino. She was born and raised there, went to Hawaii in her young adult life. My dad is Native Hawaiian, Irish Portuguese. He actually lived in Hawaii for quite some time, moved to Colorado for a little bit and kind of experienced that mainland lifestyle, and then went back to Hawaii where my parents had met. I get such diverse cultural experiences in my family alone, having parents that come from essentially opposite sides of the world. And that's kind of a good representation of what Hawaii is. Hawaii is known as the melting pot. We're a little island chain in the middle of the Pacific that is made up of such diverse cultures that every day you're exposed to different languages, different cultural traditions. I actually grew up dancing hula for a lot of my life, and so when I came to Indiana, that's something that I wanted to take with me, and kind of that spreading awareness of culture and being able to relate to different people, whether it's because of a familiar cultural background or not. It's just been an experience that I've taken with me growing up in such a diverse place, and coming to a place like Indiana, it's been such a great learning experience for me. I think the diverse cultural background that I was provided in Hawaii has helped me be adaptable. It's helped me be someone who can communicate really well. I can be in any given situation and kind of just exude that here I am, this is who I am, I will welcome you regardless. And that it really is how I've been treated since I moved to Indiana. And I think a lot of that stems from my service in the military as well. Being a part of the Indiana Army National Guard is like a family. And for me growing up, family was like at the top of everything. So when I moved out here, finding that sense of community, finding that sense of family was something that was kind of subconscious for me. It was something I saw. I was like on the search for when I moved out here. And I've been able to talk to people pretty easily. I think it helps in my role as a Army National Guard recruiter as well. I'm able to kind of develop a relationship with someone just by simply opening up a conversation. And the way I greet people back home is with a hug, and I feel like the way I greet people out here is with a hug, and it's been met with the same type of energy. It's definitely been kind of a struggle for me going back and forth trying to figure out how to raise my daughter in a culture that's essentially completely different from a culture that I grew up with. And I want to ensure that we instill our culture with her, even though we're in a different physical environment than Hawaii. And as long as I'm working with my daughter on what's important for us, it's family, it's community, it's being there to serve others. She comes from a family of dual military parents, so she's got those strong foundational things that have stemmed from our growing up back home in Hawaii that we're finding it's pretty easy to work with her to have still those same cultural values out here.
What What a great story. Coming up next, we explore a new project aimed at celebrating and educating children on Chinese culture and language.
Celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage. Sponsored by the Marion County Public Health Department.
Welcome back to Celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage. Our spotlight now turns to Sunny Lou Williams and her groundbreaking project. Their mission is to celebrate and educate children on Chinese culture and language. Williams brings a fresh perspective to the exploration of cultural identity and appreciation.
I became a mom at 38. And so with Augie, I was thinking to myself, I've got a business to run, I've got a family, I've got a little one. How am I going to ever find the time to teach him Chinese on top of everything else? And so that pain point for me really weighed heavily for a while. We looked at a bunch of different opportunities for Chinese school, for just interventions that would be helpful in learning the language. And then we discovered that Augie was diagnosed with mild to moderate autism. And so because of that, we couldn't necessarily go to traditional routes of language teaching. And so when we identified that, this show had been percolating throughout. So, of course, with everything that we do in new business, we had to do a lot of research. So I, with Augie's support, have watched thousands of hours of educational programming. And what I found was those shows that were funded by the Federal Department of Education were intentionally formulaic in the way that they taught language, taught reading, and taught about cultural heritage, and in the form of Dora, the Explorer, taught the Spanish language. And so I looked and I wanted to see, were there comparable shows that could be quote-unquote an export from Taiwan, from China, that really shared that Chinese language teaching capability? And I found that it wasn't, for two reasons. One, the level of language immersion that was assumed was not here in the United States. So a typical show might go over 20 to 30 new words, all grouped and categorized into, here's what you call every vegetable, right? Here are all the words for fruits. And it wasn't conversational. And the second main issue was it was not at all culturally coherent for a young language learner here in the United States. So through all this market research, we've been incredibly blessed with the right partners, incredibly blessed with just how this has come to be and formed. And I was very intentional in speaking with the leadership of Epic May to say, our goal is to build an animation studio here in Indianapolis. But I don't know how to do that, right? I need you to help train us to determine how to create that so that we give opportunities for animators not only to tell Little Dragon story, not only to participate in Kai Ben's productions, but to tell the story here locally in the state of Indiana, in the city of Indianapolis, and across our communities that have not been represented in digital art. Anyone can access the Chinese language, that you don't have to be Chinese, that language itself outside of the Chinese language is something that should be fostered and supported in every child. And unfortunately, our education system reserves that only for those that can pay for it. And when I look at cartoons that are funded by Department of Education that are teaching other languages, we fall really short. So our goals are ultimately to get grant funding to support the continuation development of Kai Ben for Chinese language learning and other opportunities for other languages down the line. This is my passion project because I'm a Chinese speaker that wants to ensure that my heritage and language continues within my child. But I'm also an individual that loves the place and spaces that we occupy and the ability to give equitable access to learning in general for all children.
Celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage. Sponsored by the Marion County Public Health Department.
Well, it's time to step into the world of diverse Asian cultures as we visit an exhibit right here in Indianapolis. Rupal Thanawala walks us through the intricate designs and rich history of traditional attire.
We are at Indiana Historical Society getting ready for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This year we are expanding one of our exhibits, and that is about Asian American outfits. When I came to United States, often people were wondering, hey, what are you wearing? You're wearing such beautiful outfits, and what it is. And yes, of course, as you travel around Asia, you will see many different kinds of outfits, just because Asian Americans, as you go from one country to other country, or sometimes even different states within a country, the outfits can change dramatically. As you can see, this group is wearing something from Philippines. So these mannequins are from China, and we will go to South Korea. The very first one was also from South Korea, and this one is beautiful paintings. As you can see, it has got painting here with gold and silver paintings. Even on the bow there is a beautiful painting. So one thing you would observe is that we like lots of colors. Flower and animals are very often used in our outfits. Just a minute back we saw a Chinese outfit. It had a dragon on it. And this one is also from the Philippines, and it has got beautiful birds on it. You can see that, singing birds. So most of our outfits back in the days were actually designed with our culture, our animals, our flowers, and we still love our flowers and the colors, of course. This is another one from China. These two mannequins are from Japan, and these two final ones are my favorite. They are from India, and even in this one you can see a lot of embroidery has been done. Back in the days, women used to stitch their own outfits, and they would do all the embroidery on their outfits. Even men wear lots of colors, which is quite different than what we see in Western culture. Again, in this one has all the elephants. You can see here elephants and other animals. So we do wear this kind of outfits often nowadays, just when there's festivals or special days, weddings. But also sometimes what I'm wearing today is a very casual, something that I like to just wear at home. This exhibit will be available to visit during the month of May. It ends on May 31st.
The exhibit will be up at the Indiana Historical Society now through the end of May. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage. Sponsored by the Marion County Public Health Department.
In our final story tonight, we address a crucial aspect of the AAPI experience. Stop AAPI Hate delves into the critical issues surrounding the Asian American community and expands on the efforts to combat discrimination and promote solidarity.
We're a coalition that started at the beginning of the pandemic, when so many Americans were really focused on protecting themselves and their families, and Asian Americans had this added burden of fending off COVID-related hate. And so we were responding to this latest wave, this newest wave of anti-Asian hate and discrimination. So that's really our origin story. So we really set out to, number one, establish that this was a real problem and that this was pervasive and systemic. And so through the stories that we were able to collect of individuals who took the time to tell us about their stories, we have been using that data to inform policies and to advocate for meaningful change. And so some of that work, what that looks like is calling for more investments in violence prevention, calling for more education around the root causes of anti-Asian discrimination and hate. And this is the work that we continue to do to this day, because of course anti-Asian hate continues to be a national problem. Well, one of the things that we have launched to commemorate and to celebrate NHPI Heritage Month is a campaign that we've called and named Spread AAPI Love. And so in celebration, we want to lift up the many, many stories of resistance, of resilience, of solidarity. And so one simple thing that your viewers can do is to log onto our site at spreadaapilove.org and tell us your stories of resistance, of solidarity and resilience. So that is one way. And you can also go to our website at stopapihate.org to learn about how everyday individuals can get involved. Share our reporting center so that we can continue to collect stories. And I think it's important to tune into programs like this, because the more that we know, the more that we have knowledge and consciousness about this, the more that we can do to act. Well, it's really important, even in the darkest times, to have hope, to believe that change is possible. And this campaign, Spread API Love, has really been about our love for our community, our love for other communities who are also experiencing high levels of hate. And that's the message around solidarity. This is a time where we've seen some of the worst, and it's also a time where we've seen some of the best of humanity. And that gives me hope. Everyday people speaking out, everyday people taking action, and that's the message that we'd want to spread.
And that wraps up tonight's Celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage special. We'd like to thank all of our guests who share their stories, shedding light on the diverse tapestry of cultures that enrich our community. Remember, the celebration of heritage is not confined to a single month, but it is a continuous journey of understanding, appreciation, and unity. Thank you for joining us.
Discover more at wishtv.com. And when you follow Wish TV on Facebook, check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.